Space is infinite, dark, and silent. For Captain Zara Malik, it had always been her dream to lead a mission beyond the boundaries of the Milky Way. At just 35, she was a decorated astronaut and one of the youngest commanders in interstellar exploration history. But this mission wasn't about glory, it was humanity's last hope. Earth was collapsing under the weight of its mistakes. Climate change, resource wars, and overpopulation had made survival uncertain. Then one day a signal arrived, a signal not from Earth or even the Milky Way but from the distant Andromeda Galaxy. The signal bypassed every known communication system and spoke directly to the minds of humanity's top scientists. You are not alone, come find us. But beware, every choice has a cost. No one could decode the technology behind the signal, but its invitation or warning was clear. Thus, Aurora X1, humanity's most advanced spacecraft, was launched to investigate. Leading the mission was Captain Zara Malik. Zara's crew was handpicked. Dr. Aryan Raza, a physicist with a genius-level intellect and a deep fascination with the unknown. Lieutenant Ethan Blake, a skilled and confident pilot known for keeping calm under pressure. Engineer Sophia Khan, a systems expert who could repair anything, no matter how complex. Biologist Mia Torres, a researcher driven to discover extraterrestrial life. The journey began smoothly. The ship's systems were perfect, crew was disciplined, and the excitement of exploring another galaxy kept morale high. But then, 3 months into the mission, it happened. It was the middle of a quiet night shift. Zara was in her cabin reviewing mission logs when the ship's lights dimmed. Every system on board flickered, and then a sound of voice echoed through her mind. It wasn't coming from the ship's intercom, it was inside her head. Turn back, Zara Malik, you do not belong here. She froze. What was that? She whispered to herself. She rushed to the bridge, where the rest of the crew was equally shaken. Ethan's hands were trembling. Did everyone hear that? He asked. Yes. Arian replied, his face pale. But it wasn't just a voice, it felt like it was pulling something from my thoughts. Zara took control, her voice steady despite the tension. Stay focused. Sophia, check the communication systems. Arian, scan for any nearby sources of interference. Ethan, maintain our course. But there was no interference. The signal wasn't coming from any nearby source. It was targeting them directly, bypassing their ship's systems entirely. The crew realized they were dealing with something far beyond human understanding. As Aurora X1 approached the edges of the Milky Way, the crew's unease grew. The ship's instruments began detecting strange anomalies. Stars flickered in, antilles issued in, and time itself seemed to stretch and compress. Sophia tried to explain it logically. We're passing through an uncharted region of space. These anomalies could be natural phenomena we don't understand yet. But Mia disagreed. Natural phenomena don't speak directly into your mind, she said, her voice laced with fear. Then they reached Andromeda. The galaxy was breathtaking. Billions of stars glittered against the darkness, each one a potential home to alien life. But amidst the beauty, their instruments picked up something chilling, a planet, uncharted and alone, orbiting a dying star. The planet was barren, its surface a mix of ash and ice. But at its center was a glowing structure, a dome radiating energy. The signal was coming from there. We're not turning back now, Zara said, her voice firm. This is why we're here. The crew landed on the planet and stepped out onto its surface. The air was thin but breathable, the sky an eerie shade of purple. The dome loomed ahead, its surface pulsing with light like a living heart. As they approached, a sudden hum filled the air. The closer they got, the louder it became, until it was deafening. Then, as they reached the dome's entrance, the hum stopped. The door opened on its own. Inside, they found themselves in a city unlike anything they had ever seen. The buildings were made of translucent crystals, glowing with an inner light. The air was filled with a faint, unrecognizable melody, as if the city itself was alive. Mia examined a nearby structure. This isn't just a city, she said. It's a machine. Then, the lights dimmed, and a figure appeared before them, a hologram of a humanoid being with elongated limbs and glowing eyes. It spoke in perfect English. Welcome, travelers. You have come seeking answers, but to understand the truth you must first confront your past. The crew exchanged uneasy glances. What do you mean? Zara asked. The figure gestured toward the heart of the dome, where a massive portal swirled with energy. Enter and you will see. This could be the key to everything, our existence, the universe, everything. But Ethan was hesitant. We don't know what's on the other side. This could be a trap. Zara weighed her options. Our mission is to find the truth, she said finally. We go in. As they stepped into the portal, reality dissolved around them. They felt as if they were being torn apart and reassembled, their very essence stretched across time and space. When they emerged, they were no longer in the dome. They were standing on Earth, but it wasn't the Earth they knew. The sky was dark, the land barren, cities were reduced to ruins, and the air was filled with an eerie silence. This can't be real, Mia whispered. A shadowy figure appeared before them, its form shifting and flickering like a projection. This is your future, it said. The result of your choices, your greed, your wars, your ignorance. The crew was horrified. You're saying this is our fault? Zara demanded. Yes, the figure replied. But there is still hope. You can change this future, but the cost will be great. The figure explained that the portal had brought them to an alternate timeline where humanity had destroyed itself. To prevent this future, they would need to return through the portal and make a sacrifice. Someone would have to remain behind to stabilize the timeline. Zara knew what had to be done. I'll stay, she said, her voice steady. The crew protested, but Zara was resolute. This is my responsibility as captain. If my sacrifice can save Earth, then it's worth it. As she stepped into the portal, her body began to dissolve into light. Take this message back, she said. Tell them to do better. The crew watched as Zara disappeared, the portal closing behind her. The remaining crew returned to their timeline, carrying Zara's message. They delivered it to Earth's leaders, warning them of the consequences of their actions. Humanity listened. Slowly changes began. Wars ended, resources were conserved, and the planet was healed. But for the crew, Zara's sacrifice was a constant reminder of the cost of their mission. She was gone, but her legacy lived on.